What up, everybody? We back. We back. Another episode of the Albinoverse. Yeah. So yesterday was crazy. Woke up to a rock being hurled through my window. I don't know what. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was dead asleep too. I was dead asleep. Motherfucker just crashed, and they hit my Funko Pops. They hit my motherfucking Funko Pops. Um. Yeah, but it was crazy. So I was cleaning up glass all day. Blind man cleaning up glass. That's stupid. And yeah, so that was yesterday was interesting. There was some other shit that happened that also made it interesting. Um, but dealing with that too. It's been a weird week. But we here. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man, that shit was crazy. Nobody saw nothing. I didn't call the cops nothing because I mean, ain't nobody here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I was talking to my girl, and she said that I should get. She was like, "What did you know? Because you got renter's insurance." I don't even know what that is. I've never had renter's insurance. I'm gonna get some though. I've never had shit to take. I remember actually, uh, our house got robbed when I first moved down here. I was living with the homie Nick and my girl Tiffany, and I remember coming home one day, and I just did what I normally did. Me and Tiffany shared a room, and Nick had the other room. And sorry, the windows open because a rock came through it yesterday. So there's noise is what there is. But yeah, so I came home and I just did what I normally did. I just sat down, started watch TV. Think I got something to eat or whatever. And then like Nick came home, and Tiffany came home. But he came home, went in his room, and he came out. I was like, "Hey, Nate, did you take my PlayStation and my Blu-ray?" I was like, "No, what the hell are you talking about?" Come to find out that we had been robbed. But I had so little shit that they didn't take nothing from me, so I just didn't know. I didn't know. They took a bunch of shit from Nick and Tiffany, but they ain't take a damn thing from me, which now that I think about it was not a problem. That I shouldn't have been complimented by it. Even the cops was like, "Are you like sure you just didn't do this shit?" Because like they missing stuff. You came home, didn't say shit for like 3 hours. I was like, yeah, but that's cause like my life ain't where it's supposed to be, dog. That's not on no robbing shit. I ain't robbed nobody, dog. That was just cause my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but they didn't take shit from me, which was fucked up. I mean, okay, so my TV was, mm, but nah, I had a cell phone, but it ain't even work though. I had a gang of DVDs. Matter of fact, I still got a gang of DVDs. Look, what I'm trying to say is there's a price to following your dreams, okay? I mean, I pay it gladly. I'm paying it, but you know, there's a price. But here's the thing: do you want to die happy? That's what it comes down to. Now, honestly, comedy was an accident for me. Y'all know that shit. But yeah, man. Other than that, what else is happening this week? We're still looking for a venue for the special. That's becoming more and more of a pain in my ass. I don't know. I guess. Oh, China's broke. Apparently. What else happened in the news? I don't really follow the news. I don't care. Like, also, I feel like I'm not gonna miss shit. I got really lucky where I was born. I was born '78, which is basically like I'm the end of Generation X or the beginning of the millennials. So what happened with people who were born from like 1975 to like 1986 ish around there? We grew up in this weird like microcosm of like change and shit. Like everything was a transition. So like at you know, you had like people from like the generation like the what was it, boomers. before us, they was like technology was moving very, very fast, but industry was what was like the thing. That was what everybody. This is just a fidget toy. I like it, but yeah, industry was like the thing. I mean, like it was that was just like, oh shit, they got robots building cars out here in these streets. You know what I mean? Like they was impressed by that, but they wasn't like things were coming into the home, but like it was moving fast, but it was also moving small. Like they were taking jumps, but they were contained. So even though they were scary, they were like understand like color TV. Like people forget this. Like yeah, uh, Lucy about was it? I Love Lucy was the first. It wasn't just the first uh, sitcom with a woman and a Latino lead. It was the first sitcom. So like that's what's crazy. The first sitcom was a female and Dominican lead. That was it. A show about them. That was the first sitcom. That was in the 50s. So like things were already starting to progress and shit like that. But like when the motherfucker 75 hit and computers started bugging, we were the latchkey generation. So we was just watching TV. And if shit broke, we had to fix it, not because we were like smart, just because there was nobody else. Like I remember my mom, like our parents would be like, "Hey, here's $2, go outside and don't come in for 8 hours." That's what motherfuckers would say. They just tell you to take your ass outside and don't come back till it's dark. Like I don't want to see you today. And like you get dropped off at the mall with like you knew your phone number, but you didn't know how to like you know what I mean. Like you just get dropped off at the mall at like noon and you're like, I'm gonna pick you up at 6. You just figured out what to do for 6 hours. And a lot of it was not fun. I know people gonna act like, oh man, we were no, a lot of it was just standing and talking shit to each other. That's the same thing you do online. That's what a lot of it was. We just couldn't do that on the phone because there was one line in everybody's house. And another motherfucker just pick up the shit, hear you talking shit to somebody, and now you get your ass whooped and shit like that. So it was like that. But what we got used to is like our computers broke and we just fixed them because there was nobody who was fixing them. We didn't know anybody who we didn't have money for the motherfuckers who was fixing them, so we just fixed them. So we got used to transition. That's what we got used to. We did a lot of drugs and we should have gotten caught. Look, your parents, look, if y'all are under like 24, your parents should have been arrested like 900 times. Don't let them talk shit to you, okay? All right? Because the shit that I should have been arrested so many times, but there was no Snapchat. You see what I'm saying? Like there was no Instagram. There was no documentation. See what I mean? I remember going down me and my homie, don't do hey, look, don't do none of this. Don't do none of this. This is not me saying that you should do this, but I remember me and the homie, you know, 2 in the morning driving down I-5 in his truck, both of us hammered than a motherfucker. He driving, I'm hanging out the window. I got one leg out the window, I got one leg in it. I'm holding on to the thing. I got my arm up like this. I'm just doing 115 3 a.m. down motherfucking I-5, drunk than a motherfucker. If we if I had the ability at that moment to Snapchat that shit, I would have done it. 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 And we would have got caught and we would have went to jail and we would have deserved it. But a lot of people died. I want to make that very clear. Like y'all don't know how many people died because there was like again, there was no Snapchat, so you didn't hear about it every time. But like a lot of motherfuckers died. Like there's a movie called The Program. It's one of my favorite football movies. I'm gonna do my top 10 favorite football movies in a video later on. But there's a movie called The Program, and when it was released in theaters, there's a part of the movie where the star quarterback in the preview, you can even see it. There's a start of the star quarterback is with a bunch of people and they're laying down on the yellow line in traffic reading magazines, like talking about this is how I'm a starting quarterback. I don't get pressure, dog. You know what I mean? Like, and there's cars going by and shit like that. They actually had to, while the movie was still in theaters, still in theaters. So understand this. Before all that digital, before they could just email, but when trucks was delivering, like, all right, man, here go your movie. When they had to do that thousands of times across the country, still in theaters, they had to take that part out of the movie because too many teenagers now were doing it and getting rant the fuck over. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. I've seen people like movies like be like, all right, well, we gonna put an NC-17 on it, or like we gonna when we release the VHS or the DVD, we gonna take some shit out. But I've never seen motherfuckers be like, yo, we can't even have this in the movie, dog. Like no more. Teens, not like retarded motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, and by the way, I'm not calling nobody retarded. I'm just saying, retard. Look, I said it, and y'all know who I meant. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't mean nothing bad, but I'm not saying they bad because they're retarded. You put that on them, all right? But I'm just saying, like, motherfuckers who they slower than normal. That's all retarded means. It just means slower than normal. That's all I'm saying. I'm retarded. I can't spell. Okay, I'm retarded about some shit. Anyway, I'm slower than normal about my shit. My eyes are retarded as hell. They don't be working. They slower than normal. That's all I'm saying, baby. But anyway, so it was some like I don't want to make it seem like it was the worst. Uh but it wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't good. But we here now and we learned from our mistakes. Oh, I miss jail a lot of times though. I miss jail a lot of times, man. I remember one time uh we were we had went to Top Foods, which was the supermarket where my college was, and I remember going down there, and I was 21. Mackenzie, my roommate at college, was only 20. Everybody else was only 20 in the thing. So I was the first one to turn 21, which sucked. Which meant I had my 21st birthday by my goddamn self. It was not fun. Anyway, we went down there to get some beer. And I mean, they just gave me a shopping list. So I was the one who was buying it for everybody. So I had a shopping cart full of fucking beer. And I'm walking out into the parking lot. Now, we had already been, drinking and shit. So I start walking out and I think I see Mackenzie's car, but it's dark. I'm drunk. It's night. I'm albino. You know what it is? It looks like his car. I go up, just open the door, and there is the most terrified, like 14-year-old girl looking like she did not think I was going to open the door. And all I did was like, I just opened it. I was like, my bad. And then I closed it. And I look over and Mackenzie and Phil are in his car dying laughing. And I'm fucking like, I just came over. I was like, whatever, it happens. I'm blind. I didn't know. So I just walk over there and they were like, bro, I saw you the whole way. And I just wanted to see if you was going to make the mistake. And fuck you for that, Mac. I mean, fuck you for that, dog. That was fucked up. But those are some of the kind of things, like if that girl had her camera on her and Snapchat would have been a thing. And she just at that moment got it. She's live streaming at that moment. Just this random albino walk up with a shopping cart full of alcohol, open the door, open up, my bad, close it, and then walk off with the shopping cart full of alcohol. Y'all telling me that shit's not going viral? That's going viral. I'm gonna have to drop out of school. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a problem. But we got kind of lucky because we got used to transition. So we can we can we can build a fire and a computer. You know what I mean? Um, we understand the old school, like the motherfuckers from the old school. We understand the motherfuckers from the new school. The problem is that it moved so fast in that time, and because we went from the regular Nintendo to the PlayStation 3 in 20 years. From 1986 to 2006 was the regular Nintendo to PlayStation 3, and we played all of them. So we can go back and play the Atari, but we can also play the new games coming out now. So we got used to that transition. We were dealing with fucking, the AIDS and the wars and fucking the race riots and fucking Reginald Denny. And that's when like TV was starting to get good. But we started out with like the news only being on twice a day. So we know how to like, I don't have to consume because there was a time when I didn't have to. Your parents, those motherfuckers, there was times when it only came on once a day and they only heard one fucking version of the shit. So they don't need they don't need to be connected at all times. We like to be connected, but we don't need to be. But then you like people get mad at this fucking younger generation, and it's like they can't stay off the apps because they never had to. It's just never been a thing. I know 1 year olds that knew how to swipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then tell it now the news is on 24 hours a day on every fucking channel being pumped into the thing that's literally in your motherfucking hand. And there's no ability to put it down because there's just never has been. I grew up with this thing. It's like telling me to just like grow, like, oh, well, just turn off the, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't live without electricity. Like, I don't even understand what that's like. So I think that everything is a tool. And all I'm saying is that's why it's easier for me to not have to fucking always be online or always be watching the news. That was a long way to get there. I know it was a long way. I apologize for that. Okay. God damn it. I remember this one time. we all right, so we were at this club, and I want to make it very clear that I did not know he was talking to me. So we were at this club in Tacoma, and we were drinking, and we had some girls with us and shit like that. And we walk out the club, and my homie Bobby is in front of me, and this dude is like he's doing that thing where he just walks into you with his shoulder, but he keeps his eye like got eyes front. He's like trying to front on my man, and I'm looking at the dude like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, why has he got beef with Bobby? He wasn't. He was staring me down, but he was still too far away for me to be able to see what his eyes were doing. So my face was still trying to figure it out. My face was still like, what is going on? It was not like I was like what are you doing? Because I had a girl on my hip, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, what is this going on? And like he comes up to me, and then like I think that I'm like, oh, so he did that to him. So he must be looking at somebody behind me. You know what I mean? Like, but the whole time he looking dead in my eyes, but I don't know because I can't see his eyes. So I'm like, oh, so he started to come to me, and he tried to do that shoulder thing, like we just come up to me and do that thing. And I just was like, well, I got a girl, so if it wasn't Bobby and it's not me, it must be the dude behind me. So I was just like, well, I'll just get out of his way, and so I just like sidestepped out of the way, and then he ran into the bouncer, and now he got hit in the face, and then his boy was laughing at him. That's when sometimes being legally blind to save your life, man. Because he definitely looked like he could have fucked me up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have fought at that time. I would have fought him for sure. I'm just saying I probably would have lost that shit. I mean, which I'm cool with. I don't care. I've lost a lot of fights. I got knocked out a couple times. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but I mean, like, I would have fought. I would have fought. I've been beat up a lot. It's not cool. It's not cool. I don't like it, but I could do it. But legally blind, man, save my shit, man. That's cool. It's also got me into fights too. Um, the last fight I was in, I was at this bar, and I was like 28, 29 maybe. I was at this bar in Hollywood, and this dude thought I was looking at his girl, and I wasn't. He was drunk. He came over. He was like, "Well, you looking at my girl, dog? I'm be trying to look at my girl. I'm be looking at my girl, bro." And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. He was like, then he pointed her out, and I was like, and comic brain. I wasn't a comic at the time, but I was like, had a comic. Look, you can't point her out. Me being legally blind, I'll be like, oh, her. Well, now you pointed her out because now I'm looking at her now because you pointed her out though. But I didn't know who that was before you had pointed her out. Also, I wouldn't have been able to see it anyway because I'm legally blind. Now the dude think I'm fucking with him, or he's just really drunk and have beef. And I think that we joking because there's a bouncer standing behind him. So I'm like, he's not gonna do nothing with a bouncer standing right there. And then he got up in my face. I was like, dude, I don't want no beef with you, dog. I wasn't looking at your girl. I literally could not see her, dog. And his girl starts to come over, and she like, he wasn't even looking at me, and he was like, nah, he was looking at you. I was like, how the fuck she gonna say I wasn't looking? I'm gonna say I can't see, and you gonna say that I'm looking. You seem to be the only person here who's seeing shit that ain't there. Like, you all the way. I'm starting to roast him a little bit. And finally he does that thing. You know that when dudes get that drunk where it's like what the fuck it, like you see the fuck it. And I was like, oh, he's gonna swing on me. And so I was like, look, bro, I don't have no problem. And I put my hand over. He was tall. He was big tall. Like he was 6'6" and above. I don't know. He was taller than me by enough that I realized he was taller than me. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, whoa, we were around the same height. Oh no, he was probably like 3 inches. No, he was taller than me. Like, oh, this nigga tall. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. So he came up and he wasn't like big, but he was probably like he went to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he looked at my hand, and then I grabbed his balls, and then I squeezed them real hard, and then I put my hand on his shoulder on his shirt, and I tripped him, and I put him on the ground, but I kept a hold of his balls, and then I put my knee on his neck, and he started to yell because my hand was on his balls. You see what I'm saying? And and then his girl started hitting me because I was squeezing the fuck out of his balls. But he was big, and I didn't know what was going on. The bouncer was no longer there, and then he came back out, and then he saw, and he was like, why are you grabbing that man's balls like that?" And I'm like, "The dude just tried to attack me, and like nobody did nothing. And I'm mad because nobody did nothing. While me, then she hit me. I was like, "Why is she hitting me?" It was like, "Cause I got this nigga's balls. That's why. Why you got his balls? Cause this motherfucker tried to attack me." Like I'm like, I'm not gonna stop squeezing this until you make a move. Like you have to do something to control this situation, because if he get up after me grabbing his balls for this long, he gonna be mad. He gonna be mad. Okay, his girl's already mad, and I feel like if I let go, I'm not gonna be able to continue. I'm not gonna get another chance to grab these motherfucking balls. You know what I mean? Like, and this ended the situation in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna keep squeezing. And I wasn't squeezing to crush, okay? I was squeezing to control. All right. So I got a hold of this man's cluster, and finally the bouncer comes over, and he was like, he told get off of him, get off. And everybody was like, yo, no, for real. This dude, this dude swung first. This dude was pushing him, he backed him into a corner. Nigga did grab his balls, and he is still holding them, but it was in self-defense. It was a self-defense ball grab and squeeze. This is what it was. And so I'm sitting there, got his balls, and the bouncer finally gets her off. He's like, "All right, man, we cool." Another bouncer comes out, and he's like, "Just let go of his balls." And I was like, "All right, cool." And then I let go of his balls, and then he stayed down. He was still screaming. I didn't realize how, because I grabbed him, and then like I didn't get him all the way. Like I grabbed him, and I think I only got like three, because it wasn't a clean grab. He was wearing pants, so I didn't know exactly where they were. I was just going for whatever I could grab at that situation. Um, um, and I grabbed the balls, but I had a pincher on them. I didn't have all five on them because I didn't want to move, because I was trying to readjust, but I didn't want to move and him be able to suck his balls back up and take his balls back. So I only had like three, but then when he went down to the ground and I got on his neck and his hands left, I readjusted, and I was right under I was under the grundle, and I was grabbing under the grundle, and then I was crushing with this, like on the top. So I had both balls on the top part of the crush hand, and I was like that, like the balls were like there, and I was coming over on top of them. So I let him go, and then the bouncers were like, you shouldn't be grabbing people's balls like that." And I was like, "The dude, look, I'm gonna kick you in your balls, okay? Like I want to make it very, very clear. I'm not a fighter. I don't like to fight. I love sparring. I love to get in the martial arts arena and really see what I can do. You know what I mean? But I've never liked hurting anybody. It doesn't feel good to break somebody's bones, to break an arm or a jaw or a leg or something, give somebody a concussion. It doesn't make me feel, yeah, that felt good. I do love challenging myself, but if it's a street fight, I will walk the fuck away, buy you a drink, call myself a bitch. I don't want to do it. So that means that if you put me in a situation where I feel like I have no other out, I'm gonna grab your balls. Okay, it's a very effective way to get out of a situation. Most martial arts, the first thing they teach you is neck, knees, nuts, nose, and eyes. You know what I mean? Go for the vitals. So you know what I mean? Like, this isn't MMA. I don't want to be here. I'll lick your whole fucking face to distract you and grab your balls. You understand what I'm saying? I will grab your sack and twist it. So what's the hypothetical question today? Let's look. Let's find us a good hypothetical on the old iPad. All right, let's see. What do we got? Okay, here we go. Who would win in a fight between Luke Skywalker and Gandalf. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's geek out a little bit. So, okay. So, honestly, I think if it's just Luke Skywalker and Gandalf, actually, I think this is pretty easy. I think it's Gandalf wins. Um, Luke Skywalker is basically just, Professor X with a sword. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can jump, like they can't even fly. You know what I'm talking about? They can't even fly. Gandalf can call like winged beasts and fly them bitches and slay big ass, what is it, Demigorgon? What, I don't know what the fuck that is. The fire beasts and shit like that. Um he's also like 25,000 years old or some shit like that. Uh Luke lost his hand to his dad. And if you can't even beat your look, if you can't even beat your dad in basketball, like honestly, I think you're gonna lose to Gandalf. You couldn't even look. You beat your dad the second time, but barely. You know what I mean? Like barely. So you're not gonna be able to beat Gandalf. I mean, he's gonna fucking murk you. He's gonna murk Luke Luke Skywalker. I think the only challenge for Gandalf would be Yoda or maybe Mace. But other than that, no, Luke. I'm sorry. No, 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 not against Gandalf. Not even Voldemort. I don't think he could beat Voldemort, but I'd like to see the fight. And that's my answer. I think Gandalf fucking houses Luke. All right. All right. I think we're good. Are you guys good? I'm good. You good? I'm good. Follow me on TikTok. I am taking a little bit of a break because somebody was stealing my content, posting it to their own page. That's douchebaggery. But I will be back. Follow me on obviously YouTube, Spotify, the Albinoverse podcast, and Instagram, please, at Nathan Hurd Comedy, and then on Twitter at Nate Hurd Comedy, because apparently Nathan Hurd is too many goddamn words or letters. You guys are fantastic. Um, Appreciate all the things. I got new merch dropping soon. I know I keep saying that, but I am a procrastinator. So there we go with that. And yeah, you guys are the shit. Please follow me. Please, please, please. Um, if you want to see me in your city doing this stand up thing, then you guys got to call your local clubs and tell them you want to see me. I am on this season of She-Hulk. You'll see me in an upcoming episode. So look for that. And I will see you guys on the flip flop.